Singers and songwriters, cranberries and turkeys, you are now tuned in to the Disney Holic Show.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Holic Show. That's Mike TV.
And that's Jen Diz.
In today's episode, we're getting into the holiday spirit with our special guest, Noah Sunday-Lefkowitz. He's here to share all the magic behind his upcoming holiday show, Jolly Holiday with Noah. So first and foremost, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. This is the day before Thanksgiving when this episode airs. So happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
And
Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving to Noah, our special guest today. He is a singer, a songwriter, and all-around Disney-holic. Welcome to the show, Noah.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we are so excited. I have been telling Mike and our listeners about your show for quite some time, Calling All Dreamers, which is the first time I got to see you live and in person. And yeah, I was so impressed, I have to tell you, with your show.
Thank you.
I feel like we always talk about icebergs, right? Like there's these like icebergs. The tip of the iceberg is like kind of the general Disney knowledge, and you go further down and under the water, and it's like the
Oh,
big piece of the
sure,
iceberg.
sure, yeah.
I feel like we hiked from the start of your show halfway down, at least down the iceberg, if not deeper. And it was so
Oh,
cool
yeah.
to get there so quickly and be like, oh, these are my people.
It's wild, right? It's incredible how deep you can get when you let yourself.
Oh yeah,
And
it's endless.
and just to get 200 people in a room and just say like, "Hey, we're going down there, like join or get off the boat."
Right, right. Even the trivia sessions were really hard. I didn't even know all of them. And I'm like, okay, this is usually a Disney trivia is like at a public like event is like kind of
Right.
easy.
That's
Right?
usually all of our collective bag, and seeing the audience respond so quickly to this trivia that even would take me some time is incredible. I mean, this stuff is so embedded in people's lives
Yeah.
that they and we just sort of we eat it up. It's just part of the culture.
And I think that
110%.
the deeper the deep cut and the more hidden the Easter egg, the more a Disney Holic obsesses over it because it's so fun
Yeah.
to know that special something along with a couple of other fans and
And
relate
the
to it.
deeper the deeper it gets, the brighter the light goes off when you know it. Like the deeper something is, the more excited you get when somebody else knows it too. Or
Yes.
Yeah.
when you and that's really what the shows have always been, is like, yes, we're all there to see me do the performance, and it's all very nice. But what it really is just like I'm hosting a party of like 200 nerds, and we're all on the same level, and we all are going to celebrate the same things, and I just happen to be the host. And so to give these, all of our fellow Disney fans a place to be so excited and proud of that stuff is one of the reasons I started doing the shows in the first place. So I'm glad it worked. I'm glad it felt like that.
Yeah, it definitely did. And I knew that we were going to hear some deep cuts because I know a lot of your songs that you've written include that. So I was like, okay, he's going to sing about it and perform about it. But I didn't realize like at what lengths it was going to go into in the show. It was so fun.
Oh, thank you.
Just
Well,
so fun.
that's
Yeah.
I will say, I your review was very kind, and something that you said that stuck with me was that you didn't know exactly what you were going into. And there are a lot of Disney events that happen on both coasts, and we all love seeing people put on Disney events and seeing who shows up to Disney events. And I've been to a bunch of them. I'm sure you've been to a bunch of them. And you explained like, oh, it would be a nice evening of Disney music, and maybe it could be like a lounge thing, or it could be a like cabaret thing. There's no reason to know. And to be able to surprise and delight somebody of your level
Oh, thank you.
who didn't know exactly what to expect, because there's so many events of so many different varieties, and to be able
Hmm.
to offer something that I at least haven't been able to experience. As people who are in the community, I'm trying to build something that doesn't already exist. And it from your words, it seemed like it worked, to
It
be
did.
able to reach beyond expectations of the people in our spheres who, because we're nerds, we know a lot, we expect a lot. And I try
Yeah,
to do right by that. I try
that's
to,
great.
you think you're nerdy, let's keep leveling up. It's no fun to go to something that you know everything.
Hmm.
I want to teach people something every time they
Exactly,
come to the
totally.
show.
And you know what? I remember this feeling leaving that show when we are like gushing about it after. Me and my roommate Fargo, she came with me, and she's a Disney holic as well. And we were just like gushing about the show. And there's all these moments where I kept going, "Oh my God, Lisa would have loved this," or "Oh, I wish Mike could have been here." Like there's all these people that I was just like, "Dang it, how do I have to now know about this ahead of time next time to get everybody to be able to experience it." So nonetheless, you have impressed many a Disney holic. So thank
Oh,
you
thank
for
you. And Mike,
being
I'm gonna get
a
out
great
to your
showman.
coast in the spring, so
Oh,
watch
Nice.
out for that.
nice.
I
Oh, I
don't know
can't wait.
when. Nothing's booked yet, but I was there in February, and I've been meaning to get back for months. So it looks like the spring is. I'm gonna be coming your way.
Nice. Spring sounds good. By the way, I really love the way you talk about the space that you create for the community and your audience. We talk a lot on our show, on the Disney Holic Show, about the intersectionality between fandoms, and then also generations, like when somebody grew up with Disney or Disneyland or Disney World, and then you put those all together, and it just is so exciting and
It's
fun.
it's incredible that it's been around for so long that we have that now.
Yeah.
That I talk to people who are my grandparents' age who have extinct Disney park songs that they love, and then I talk to people who are 18 who have extinct Disney park songs that they love, and it's really amazing to bridge those divides
Yeah.
and see both what they have in common, but how they interact with the product differently.
Yeah.
Because I certainly know that, I mean, I interact with the parks differently now than I did when I was 10, and the parks interact with audiences differently now than when I was 10. Neither better or worse, just different through leadership and through changes. And so to watch that and to build a space where all of those people can come together
Yeah.
is something, one of the reasons I started doing the shows in the first place.
That's awesome. It comes
It's
through,
really
and I
great.
haven't even seen the show, but I can
Oh,
feel it.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I try to do it with the content too. It's just really
Yeah.
fun to move it from a digital space to a physical space.
Right.
Yeah, it does feel different, but it's yeah, fully immersive into that, little no, I guess like what's the word I'm looking for? Like just you have to know your space to feel it, and
Yeah.
I knew that space and I didn't know I needed to, and it was great.
Well, that was really part of the whole story of the show. Um, and I don't want to give too much away from that show because there are more shows to do, but it is really about finding a community. And I feel like when we are kids, unless we are in a huge Disney community, I feel like so many of us grow up as the quote unquote Disney kid, either in school or in your friend group, and that can eventually be stigmatized and isolating. And so to encourage people to know that they aren't the only one, and to not, to bring people together, know that there's a community, but also tell people like, hey, we all love this stuff. We don't need to gatekeep this stuff from each other. Like it's more fun to share than it is to enjoy in isolation.
100%. Oh
So
my
I'm getting really
goodness.
philosophical very
No, this is
quickly.
No, I'm
well
remembering
said.
like all the feelings I went through now during the show too. Like there were tears, there was
Which
like
is
belly
wild when you're
laughs.
like, oh, I'm gonna go see a TikToker sing
Yeah,
Disney Park songs.
yes.
Like and that's exactly what I mean, right? Like you have no reason to expect a moral going to a
Yeah,
Disney fan event,
right.
and that's really fun to
Yeah.
say to bait and switch of like, haha, you're actually deeply emotionally connected to
Yeah.
this stuff. Let me talk about it.
That is so good. I love that. So Noah, let's take a second to get to know you a little better. We have
Sure.
a lightning lane round for you. We're going to ask you a
Woo.
couple questions just to, get your favorites down on paper about what you love about Disney parks. So,
All right.
Mike, you want to
All right,
shoot off these
Lightning
questions?
Lane, you're just going to shout out the first thing that comes to your mind when we say something like, "What's your favorite Disney character, Noah?"
Donald Duck is the first
Donald
one that
Duck.
comes to mind. Jiminy Cricket, the Genie, and Jack Sparrow are close seconds.
Oof,
Wow, top
very good.
four.
Yeah, sure.
Favorite Disney park?
I mean, it's so basic. I'm gonna say Disneyland, and it's only because it's so packed with history, and I love the story of it. But I am such a Magic Kingdom defender. I
Wow,
grew up going to Magic Kingdom. I my first job at Disney was in Magic Kingdom. I'm sure I'll get into that. Um,
that's a
and
that's a rare versus. I don't usually hear Disneyland and then
I
Magic Kingdom. Yeah.
know. I believe me. I hear how uncommon it is, but I grew up going there and then working there as a 21-year-old. It really just I don't care what people say about it. I love her.
There you go. There you go. I love it.
All right, what's your favorite snack at the parks?
Currently, the garlic cheesy pretzel bread at Disneyland.
Yes, so good.
It is the best breakfast option that I could
It's been a while. Is
possibly
that at
ask.
Maurice's or is that someplace else?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's at Maurice's, and then I think it's also at Edelweiss near
Yes.
Matterhorn. Yeah.
Yum. All
It's good
right.
stuff.
So, favorite Disney attraction?
The Walt Disney World Haunted Mansion.
Uh,
Oh, wow.
oh, well, we might
Well,
have to fight a
yeah, we
little
have
bit.
a
Okay.
Disneyland Haunted Mansion enthusiast here, Jen Diz. So, why don't the two of you battle it out? Why is one better than the other?
No, I have to say I get it. I get it, but I just can't
I
also.
also get it. I also get it. Like, I make no. I will say with no hesitation that the Disneyland facade is head and shoulders more iconic and more emblematic of the experience than Florida's. I love Florida's facade, but the Disneyland with that is the Haunted Mansion. But as soon as you go into it, there I the sound quality and the oh gosh, the
There's a
surround
couple
sound
more scenes
audio
too at
in
Magic
Oh, the
Kingdom.
traveling.
the traveling audio in the stretching room, the lighting in the stretching room, the extra scenes in the first act really to me prolong my favorite experience of the mansion, which is foreboding. I once it's revealed that the ghosts are having a fun time, we're just having a romp. There's no tension. And so I love that there are extra scenes in Act One of the mansion that we get to stretch out this tension in the library and in the staircase,
The
the
staircase
MC
room is really
Etcher
cool.
scene, and the music room. And I love that we get to sit in the unknown for longer.
I like that. Like the
Fine.
haunted part lasts a bit longer in Magic Kingdom. I'm gonna throw a wrench in this for both of you. My favorite is the Nightmare Before Christmas Disneyland Haunted
Oh,
Mansion. Da-da-da.
okay. Do you have something to do?
Hey, this is a Thanksgiving into the holidays
Oh my God, did he
episode.
freeze right when
Had
he
to
did
give
that? Oh, he
that a
came
It
shout
back.
was
out.
Okay.
such a controversial take, he froze.
That was
Okay,
very controversial.
Lightning Lane. Let's keep going. What's your favorite extinct attraction, Noah?
Oh man, that is a can of worms.
Look how his face lit up, though. I love it.
I well, that's like my bread and butter.
Yeah.
I mean, I so desperately wish I experienced the original Journey into Imagination. I know that again, that's a basic answer, like that or Horizons, you know. But I haven't experienced those. If I'm going to rack my brain to say what's an experience that's extinct that I actually had the chance to do, it's not the most historic, but I really miss Space Mountain Ghost Galaxy.
Oh,
I loved that out here. It's not obviously to the level of Journey into Imagination, but I'm I'm a Halloween enthusiast and I really loved a coaster that was leaning into scary. I really enjoyed that. And it's Disney, so how scary can it get? But I
Yeah.
love that vibe.
and it's nice
Family
when something is
scary.
not it's not IP. They just decided one day, okay, we're gonna make this
Right, it's just
spooky space.
spooky galaxy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is really. Like it's a vibe.
It is a vibe. You know it's not a vibe? What's your least favorite queue? Least favorite
The
queue.
Space Mountain Disneyland
Oh,
queue. The Space Mountain the
wow.
Space Mountain Disneyland queue feels like COVID. Like I just feel like I'm gonna get sick when I'm standing in that
Just
queue.
triggered
Fair.
with the 6 feet apart and everyone
It's
breathing.
it's just a big room and it's just I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
All right, so the next lightning lane question, we're gonna give you two chances to answer this. So, what's your favorite Disney song, and then what's your favorite Disney park song?
Oh, I think my favorite Disney song is Friend Like Me.
Oh, that is
I
a good
just went
one.
down a deep analyzation road of that song a few weeks ago, talking about how I think it's the perfect Disney song. And I won't do that right now because we've got other things to talk about. But my favorite Disney Parks song, it's one of those things where like I could give you a really like pick me answer. Like I could give you a song that nobody knows, but I do think at the end of the day that Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow is the most emblematic of the park's experience. And I'm just a sucker for the Sherman Brothers sound. I love pastiching that sound myself. So I'm just going to go with that and not say something like the Ballad of Thunder Mountain that was only played at the opening of Thunder Mountain.
Well, you
Love
know
it.
what? Our next lightning lane question is, what's the most underrated Disney song?
Oh, the most underrated Disney song. Well, I do think The Legend or I always forget if it's The Legend of Thunder Mountain or The Ballad of Thunder Mountain, but that's a good song that was quite literally only played at the openings of both
Wow, I'm not
Florida and
familiar. Does that
California.
have song
Nobody
lyrics?
is. Yeah.
Wow.
It is it's been one of my like my goals in my content is to tell as many people about that song as I possibly can.
Well, you've come to
But
the right place. We love a research project, and it
oh
sounds like
good.
we're probably gonna have to now do a deep dive on that, Jen, at
It's
some
Oh
point.
yeah.
it's way better than it deserves to be, and it deserves to be somewhere in the parks. But I would also say Welcome to Toontown from the opening of the original Disneyland Toontown is
Wow.
it's aggressive. It's an aggressive song, but it is quite the bop, and I
I
really enjoy
wonder,
it.
is that the same one they played on all the commercials, or is this a different song?
Um, I grew up on the other coast. I grew up on your
Oops. Yeah,
coast, so I
that's
don't
right.
know.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
was the one. It goes Toon Down, welcome to Toon Down, Toon Down.
That
I don't
sounds
know.
familiar. We've done several episodes on Toontown, and I'm pretty sure that came across our
It's a good
audio at
one.
some point. Sticking with the music, what's a Disney song that you haven't mentioned yet that gets you hyped? Maybe before a show or before you're going to a vacation. Get a
So
hype song.
I'm gonna give you the answer that I thought about, and then I'll give you an actual answer, which is when I first moved here, my roommate and I, we were both Imagineering interns at the time, and we would drive an hour to Anaheim, and because we worked in Glendale, and whenever we got to Mickey and Friends parking structure, we played one song to get us hyped, and it was a remix. It was a mashup of Under the Sea and
Okay.
Miss New Booty.
Ooh, okay.
And it's the stupidest thing.
I
Sounds
But
like
love
a
that.
good for dancing though, and
it's
maybe TikTok.
it's so dumb.
I'm
But
literally writing it
it's
down right
called
now.
it unfortunately it's called Under the Booty, and it works stupidly well. If
Well,
I
there's
want
our outro song.
I was about to say we need an outro song,
It's so
so there it
dumb.
is.
I if I wanted to think of an actual song that gets me hyped, honestly, again, I feel like these are basic answers, but I think they're basic because these songs are really cultural touch points for a reason. The ending of Be Our Guest gets me hyped like nothing I have ever
That
heard.
is a good
Just
one, yeah.
just when you get to Course by Course, I'm like kicklining alone in my car. I am having a ball.
That is great.
That is a good one.
Both really good answers.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for this new remix I'm about to find out.
Now, Noah, if you were to pinpoint a specific Disney parks era that is a favorite of yours, or maybe something that you like to share a lot, what
Mm.
is that era for you?
I love, I mean, nostalgia wise, I love mid 2000s Epcot. I think it's such a weird thing. Like it's that weird they put the hand on the castle for 2000 and then it was no longer 2000, so they got to do something about it. The Spaceship Earth went through a refurb. The seas got the Nemo overlay. Epcot was in such a state of transformation during that time. I'm not going to say for the better or worse. It was just going through it,
Yeah,
and I was 10 when it was happening, and that to me is still what Epcot feels like in my heart. Even when I go there and things have continued to evolve, honestly, probably for the better. But when I think about Epcot and I get the warm and fuzzies, it's the light bulb, it's the lights in the ground at the exit to Spaceship Earth. It's that um synth background
yeah.
music. It's just
Heck
it
yeah.
That's a
it's
great era because I feel like I also use that era whenever I think of something that reminds me of Epcot. So if I'm at
hmm
some random shopping mall and something is
yeah.
giving me Epcot, it's because it reminds me of the 2000s Epcot.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
because there was, original intent Epcot in the 80s. Obviously I never experienced it, but that is not the vibe we're talking about.
Right.
We are talking about the last the tail end of the like edutainment. We're starting to bring in
Yeah.
IP. We're at the end of the Eisner era where they're sort of just throwing stuff at the wall, and it's a real mishmash, but boy was it interesting.
Yeah. And memorable, apparently, for all of
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, well,
Well,
you have survived
yep, that's the end of our
Lightning Lane
lightning
round.
lane round.
Um, and Noah, us Disney holics always have a story about like how we got to be this crazy Disney obsessed person that we are today. So, will you share with us your Disney holic story?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do it as short as I possibly can. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and we had the good fortune of going to Walt Disney World almost every year. And my parents liked it enough to take us, and I was immediately drawn to it as an audience. But I remember I was I remember I was sitting in the book section of a grocery store and I was 10 and I was reading a Disney trivia book. I was reading Lou Mongello's Disney trivia books. And it said there was a question that it was like the ghosts in the Haunted Mansion are achieved with what? The ghosts in the ballroom of the Haunted Mansion are achieved using what illusion? And the answer was Pepper's ghost. And I can truly pinpoint that moment sitting in Wegmans as the light bulb going off of, oh my God, like the ghosts are created by people. And like that's a thing, like this stuff is all intentionally made. Because I remember growing up going to the parks, I thought they were open 24/7. I thought they had always been there, like the Grand Canyon. Like I thought, like it's so omnipresent. It was so omnipresent in my life. That was the first moment where the light bulb went off of, oh, this stuff was made. This stuff was made with intention. This stuff was made with art and craftsmanship, and somebody can make a ghost. And so from then on, the Haunted Mansion was my way in. I started recreating special effects, and I used to be a sculptor back in the day. I used to do stop motion animation. And so I went so far down the rabbit hole recreating singing busts. I would sculpt ahead of myself, prepubescent me, and I would film myself in a vice lip syncing to Grim Grinning Ghosts and project it on the bust and have a whole setup for Halloween and did little at home Imagineering projects.
So
And from
cool.
then on, I was obsessed, and here we are.
Amazing.
That's so cool. Haunted Mansion was also the thing that like caught me when I was younger. Like, I
There's
don't know,
something about
just
it.
there is.
There's something about it.
She's a
Again,
beauty.
not to get on this side quest, but I think that there are two attractions that people design their life around, like their physical space. I think it's Haunted Mansion and then Jungle Cruise slash Tiki Room. Like I've seen so many Disney fans adorn their house in one of
Totally.
those two styles. And even things like pirates, I don't see a lot of pirate houses, but I see a lot of Haunted Mansion houses and I see a lot of Jungle Cruise houses.
Yeah.
And there's something about those two franchises. And I will put pirates in what I'm about to say, but they feel so lived in. Like you feel they're so environment based. They're so
Yeah.
environment forward rather than a linear story that you feel like you can live in them. And so I've talked to so many people that the Haunted Mansion was their way in, and it's just because it works.
Yeah. And such a quickly recognizable aesthetic, like just some of the colors used and sort of like the gothic look. You
Oh yeah,
immediately think, oh, that's Haunted Mansion.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So Noah, I definitely was one of the tons of people that discovered you via TikTok, and totally fell in love with all of your songs that you were not only like replicating but creating like brand new songs. I thought it was just like so creative. So can you tell us a little bit more about your journey of TikTok to here today?
Yeah. Like so many people, I joined TikTok during the pandemic, and
Right.
I joined it in the wake of having just worked at Walt Disney Imagineering for 3 years, which was obviously a dream for any Disney fan to work there. And I had the incredible good fortune to be there very young. And post Imagineering, I was really trying to find a way to engage with this thing I like because I would love to continue to work in the themed entertainment space. And yet, when I was at Imagineering, I wasn't actually using my skills that I had developed throughout my entire life. I went to school for musical theater, I'm a writer, I'm a performer. And so when we were all inside, I was like, well, I think this is the opportunity for me to combine the two things I'm passionate about, which is Disney parks and music. And if I want to keep working professionally in the space, I want to work as a musician. And yet, the people that I've had the great fortune to work with don't know that I'm a musician. So I started TikTok as sort of a living, I call it my living, breathing resume that I started making content to just showcase what I could do. It was never about gaining an audience. It was never about becoming a content creator as a career. It was just examples of my work and trying to make engaging examples using the content that I love so much from Disney and Disney parks so that, if somebody needs something, if you need an arrangement, I can say, look, here's 20 arrangements. If you need an original song in the style of this, that, or the other, here's 10 original songs in the style of this, that, or the other. You want voiceover, here it is. You want, and so it really was. It started as just trying to remind people of what I actually do,
Mm.
and I know that attention is a hot commodity online, and so I started doing this stuff in the context of writing medleys. I had written medleys all my life, which is a weird thing to say, but it was always I did a Billy Joel and Elton John medleys in my middle school talent show. It was just so
Nice.
I've always had a keen ear for how music fits together, which is one of the reasons I started as a composer. But making medleys is a very similar thing, weaving sounds together in a way that sounds good. But as a result of the medleys, it caught people's attention online and it became kind of like a game. How many of these songs can you identify before I put the title on the screen? How many
Yeah.
songs can I get into? Back then, you could not make videos over 3 minutes. So it was like, how many songs could I cram into a certain amount of time? And it sort of gamified this whole thing. And that's how people started tuning in was it became a challenge. I've said on stage the only thing that Disney fans love more than Disney trivia is knowing more Disney trivia than the person sitting next to them. And
Yeah.
and so leaning into that challenge and leaning into if I call anything obscure, if I label it as obscure, people have the like, now how obscure can it be? Like there is an inherently a challenge in our person in deep in our soul we want to know more than the other, and so interacting with people in that way was so fun, and trying to be true to the word obscure. We've all seen the things, 5 Disneyland facts you didn't know. Did you know that the bricks on Main Street are like a red carpet? It's like, yes, we know. There's a two-tone, light bulb at Coke Corner? Yes. Yes, we know. Like I try to move so far past anybody being annoyed at the level of obscurity that I'm talking about
Yeah, right.
that I ended up in this position where I'm almost like an arbiter of information. I don't at any point claim to be a teacher or like claim to be a professional historian or anything, but I do really like building content that people of stuff that people genuinely haven't heard before. We love Miracles from Molecules, but do you know the Sherman Brothers song "Every Day's a Holiday" at Disneyland? Like it's like no, you don't, because it was in one holiday special once. Like it was, but if I can tell you, then you know another Sherman Brothers song, and that's cool.
Right.
Like it really is
And that's one of
that's
those
how it got started.
it's one of those few moments where not knowing something is actually rewarding because you learn such a fun fact that you now want to keep it in your pocket for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is really I try to pose it in that way of isn't it cool that there's always more shit. I'm so sorry. More stuff to learn.
Oh, you can say
Yeah.
whatever on Disney Holic show.
Because
Don't worry about
it's a
it.
Disney show. I don't people have rules. Um it's I try to pose it with like there's always more. And
And it needs to be interesting, and it sounds like that's what you offer. Like we've all been
yeah,
to like not so great trivias, like let's say maybe on a cruise ship, for example, and the questions are so hard, but they're really not exciting. Like how many cabins are on the Disney Dream? Like, okay, I don't know that, and I don't
I
want to
don't
know that.
care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nor do
Like
I
it,
care.
and
Yeah.
and you know you are absolutely right. There is a certain threshold. We talk about this when writing the shows, particularly with the holiday show I'm working on, because I know so much less holiday music than I do parks music, that there is a threshold of it's interesting until it's not. You
Right.
know, you when I'm making a medley of songs, even if it's obscure, I don't want to throw a bone to anybody by like putting in an easy song, but I do want to encompass enough time and space that even if you didn't know the stuff from the 80s, you might know the stuff from the early 2000s or vice versa. You know,
Right.
I have one of my most viral songs is obscure Disney songs A through Z, and that's really fun because I do think that they're pretty obscure across the board, but there are some songs that people in their 40s or 50s will be like, "Oh my God, that song that existed for like 6 months in the park is insane that you put that in." And then people in the 2000s, I have the goodbye song from Bear in the Big Blue House. And anybody who's over 35 really has no idea what that is.
Nope.
Nope.
But the people who are like 30 and under, it gets some of the biggest applause in the show
Yeah.
Nice.
because it's so specific, and it reminds you of you. Like it reminds you of your experience. It's so specific. It's not a be our guest, you know, it feels very specific to the person.
Yeah. And that goes so well with TikTok, like going back to your building your audience on TikTok. I remember, and I still think about it, like the algorithm is so specific that you feel seen or you feel
Yeah.
heard, even if it's the most obscure thing on TikTok.
It is a really it's an incredible opportunity that we have on particularly TikTok to get so specific. You know,
Yeah.
historically, so much media has been, you got to really encompass such a wide audience, and you
Yeah.
really have to be not as general as possible, but probably more general than you would ideally like.
Right.
And this is quite literally the opposite, which is the more specific of a thing you talk about, the more likely that the people who also talk about that specific thing will see it.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
so good. I do remember both at your show and while watching your TikToks, taking a moment to like write things down. I'm like, I have to go find whatever that is out
That
later and hear the whole thing and figure out like research it or whatever I want to do. Or do I want to talk about this on this show?
should be,
Like,
I should market that. Like take notes at my show.
yeah,
Yes.
That's
right.
funny. I
Bring
love
a
that.
notepad and your favorite Disney bound.
That's great.
Well, Noah, you mentioned that you worked in Imagineering for a little bit, but would you tell us a little bit more about how your career in Disney like landed?
Yeah, yeah. I'll rewind slightly just to like, how did he get there? I don't know. I did the Disney College program in Florida in 2017. I did Main Street operations. I was parade audience control. So
Wow.
I worked all the parades, all the fireworks. The amount of people I've put on sidewalks, you will not
I was
believe.
gonna say your poor soul.
I loved it. I'm gonna be
Okay,
honest.
good.
As a 21-year-old hyperactive Disney nerd, there is no better place to put him than at the most Disneyest of Disney locations, Main Street USA on in Magic Kingdom. Like
Facts.
it was the mecca of, you're the first cast members that you encounter in the parks. People need information. They need to know where to go. They want to know about things, and I am just foaming at the mouth trying to tell people interesting stuff. And then you get to work parades and fireworks, which are the cornerstones of your emotional experience. You know, the fireworks is, I would argue, at least should be, the heart and soul of the parks experience, and to be able to be a small part of it every day was incredible. And I got to close wishes and open happily ever after. That was wild. I
Nice.
grew up
Wow. What a
loving
milestone.
wishes and then fell in love with happily ever after. I did that while I was in college. I was getting my degree in musical theater. And my senior year in college, after I came back from the program, I did something called the Walt Disney Imaginations Competition, which is the competition that Imagineering puts on every year. It is a design competition for Imagineering to find new talent. And so Imagineering puts out a theoretical prompt
Wow.
saying, design something that serves this function. And then you do, and you submit it to Imagineering, and did that you go through the ranks, and you eventually get into like the top six. And for us, it was find an abandoned location somewhere in America and propose a revitalization of it. Completely
Ooh.
theoretical. It's not
Interesting.
like they're looking to do it, but they're looking for new talent, people who can who think in a
Yeah.
three-dimensional design
It's like a
space.
really good interview project,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah. And
yeah.
and it was me and my friend Andrew Carey who told me about the competition. I had never heard of it. It just completely I complete blind spot. And we were both theater majors. He was design major, I was a composition major. And so we have no engineering background, nothing that you would think would be required. And so we were like, well, let's just have really good visuals and a really good story. And so we just leaned fully into those two things and was through the ranks. And we ended up being in the top six. And Disney flew us out to Imagineering and had us pitch our ideas. And we're able to get interviews. And long story short, I and many of my colleagues ended up getting internships at Imagineering. And so
So cool.
it's wild. It's still crazy because, when you think of Imagineering, you're like, that's a 65-year-old white man. Like, and so to be a 21-year-old white man, um, it was wild. And so I moved out to California. I had been to Disneyland once, maybe twice, and started as a producer intern on the Disneyland portfolio, knowing nothing about what a producer does in terms of themed entertainment. In theater, it means money, and I knew that that's not what I was good at. So thankfully, it was a very creative role, and I got to work on the Disneyland portfolio, which meant I got to work on Runaway Railway out here and Pixar Pier and some other big projects that have yet to see the light of day. And it was an incredible learning experience. I ended up getting hired full time then as a project coordinator and got to work in live entertainment development, working on the Marvel Avengers campuses, both in California and Paris, working on any live character interaction I had a little bit of a hand in, and then eventually moved over to the most my every job got increasingly more relevant towards my specific skill set. And so I ended up in the casting department, casting and recording any pre-recorded voice that you hear in the parks. Characters,
Nice.
safety
Oh,
signals,
wow.
any pre-recorded thing. And I got to work with actors and some of my idols. We got to bring in Jim Cummings and Corey Burton, and I bringing in Corey Burton to record updates to the Disneyland parking lot tram is just a dream come true.
That's
And
so good. Yeah.
and so I did that for a while, and then was one of many, 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 many victims of the COVID layoffs. And so I was there for about 3 years total. But since then, while I've been doing this content creation stuff, it has worked as a living resume, and I've gotten to go back as a contractor to arrange some music, and I've gone through the audition process, and I have recorded voiceover for the parks. I'm a safety spiel in Tokyo, and like
Stop
I've
it. That's
I
so
I have
cool.
little fingerprints doing the things that I most want to do, which is
Oh my
music and
God.
voiceover. And so that's the path,
What a
That's
dream.
the goal. Before I will write a fireworks song before I die.
Yes,
You
please.
will. Yes. Manifest it right here.
I will at any point I will.
Wow, that's so cool. I didn't realize that. That's so fun. I've always like wanted to own a piece of Main Street or something that's just like so quintessential Disney, but to have your voice in a Disney park is
I
that's
mean,
really cool.
it's crazy to think about, and I'm very fortunate to have friends who are in the voiceover industry as well, who are very prominently in the parks. My friend AJ Lacasio is the voice of Henry in the new Country Bears show. Um,
Oh,
Wow.
uh, I my friend
aw.
my friend Brock is the voice of Santa for Disney and is the voice of the wooden Big Al statue in DCA.
Oh yeah.
And like I have a but and I could name a bunch of them because we're all just nerds and we. we're all nerdy together. But we talk about how crazy it is that no matter what you do in life as an actor, unless you make it huge, that is where you're going to be heard the most. No matter what I do on social media, no matter what I do in a career with music or voiceover, my voice is playing every 30 seconds for the next 30 years in the Peter Pan queue in Tokyo. Like that is going to hear my voice ever. And they won't know
Right.
it's me. It's not credited, nor should it be. But like, just the optics is crazy.
Yeah, that's a legacy that you get to leave.
It's
Amazing.
why nobody knows that it's me saying, "Please stand clear of the doors as they'll open towards you."
So, so cool. Excuse me. So thank you for sharing all of that.
Of course,
What
I
a
hope I didn't
dream.
take too long.
No, it's so great. I didn't know half of that. So thank you for sharing. And that's just like
Oh, cool.
seriously all of our dreams, I think. So you're living it.
I'm
Love
glad you
that.
didn't know purely because my friends make fun of me that every other sentence out of my mouth is, "Well, when I used to be an Imagineer." Like it, and I try so hard to not do that.
I mean, I'd be doing the same, so whatever.
And you know
Thank
what? It
you.
it all leads up perfectly to why you're able to bring a show, going back to bringing an audience together and putting a show together. What are you working on in this upcoming show that you're comfortable telling our listeners about without giving too much away?
Absolutely. So I'm doing a holiday show in North Hollywood called Jolly Holidays with Noah on December 8th, and it is the first non-parks show that I have developed, and it is an out 60, 70 minutes of purely Disney original holiday music. We all have heard the recordings of Mickey and the Fab Five singing carols or traditionals. None of that's in the show. It's only original songs. And
Nice.
and as a result of that, we basically just take a full run through of Disney holiday song history, starting in the 30s all the way to now. And we have a vintage medley and a modern medley and a parks medley. And I'm premiering an original attraction song there. It is actually a
Ooh.
it's a I won't say what an attraction it is, but it is an attraction that does not have an original song, but does have a holiday overlay. So the original song is for
Ooh.
the holiday overlay of that attraction.
Wow.
Oh my
So
goodness.
you'll
I'm
have to come and see.
desperately trying to figure out what it is right now. Okay. I won't have any guesses. But
Well, one
And
of my
and
favorite
it's
things
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
during the holiday season is finding experiences and shows and events to get you into the spirit. And it sounds like this
Oh
is one of
yeah.
those shows. Yeah.
It absolutely is, and I want it to be a respite from hearing the same 25 songs over and over again.
thank you.
I think we go to we all have holiday events that we go to, whether they're office parties or family gatherings or shows, and this is one of them. And I'm not going to sit here pretending that it's going to be the only holiday event you're going to go see, but it will probably be the only holiday event that you'll hear most of this music. Whether it's Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Christmas or Phineas and Ferb holiday specials, Mickey's Christmas Carol, um, the Disney Christmas parade soundtracks on both coasts.
Wow.
I think it's if you're sick of Mariah Carey, come see me instead.
It's
Oh, you're talking to
time.
the wrong person here.
And if you love her, you know what? Clarabelle Cow did
I was
perform
gonna
that
say
song.
she's the only one who could do the cover justice, so it's okay. The
And I
diva
will
of
say,
Derry.
I can say this because it's not happening. We almost got Clarabelle Cow.
Oh,
We almost did. It
Oh.
didn't line up, but one day I will perform that song with her.
yes. That'd be amazing.
April, if you're listening, get it on the calendar for 2026.
Yeah. Love it. So you said it's going to be in North Hollywood on December 8th, right?
Yes, it at the El Portal Theater.
El Portal Theater. And where can we find tickets for the show?
You can find it in the links of my bio of any of my social media. You can find me at Noah Sunday-Lefkowitz, and it will be the clickablest link you've ever seen.
Got it.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Easy enough.
Or
Well, I
you could just
already
search Jolly Holidays with Noah, and I guarantee it'll be the first thing that comes up.
Nice.
and I already have my tickets, so I will be there. So if
Woohoo!
anybody needs someone to sit with, you can always holler at me. We can all go together.
Yeah.
But the most important question is what are we wearing to the show? Is there any recommended gear?
I would say holiday sweaters.
Holiday
That's
sweaters.
I
Okay.
Nice.
or a Disney bound. If you're gonna Disney bound as Max Goof from Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas, I wouldn't say no.
Oh, that's a good.
If there's a Disney holiday bound that like the snowmen
Hmm.
from the parks parades, the
Oh yeah, the
reindeer from
park
the
parades
parks
one would be
parade.
great. What about Jacob
Um,
Marley? I'm
yeah,
Ooh, with the chains and everything.
you could rattle
Okay.
the chains instead of
gonna
applauding.
have to figure something out. Okay.
It'll be fun it's a more intimate space. It's in a black box and it's a 99 seat theater. So I will actually be able to see the audience more than normal.
Fun.
So I will be able to see people's fun outfits. So holiday sweaters, Disney bound, but if you're gonna Disney bound, I don't want to see no just Winnie the Pooh. I want to see Disney holiday outfits.
I
Yeah,
love
bring it
that.
on.
Okay. Challenge accepted. I love that. Oh my goodness. Well, Noah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love getting to know you a little bit better and hearing all about your history and so much good Disney holicism. I love it.
And to
I
our
love being surrounded by it.
nice.
Yes.
To our audience, thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed episode 263 of the Disney Holic Show.
Follow us on social media at the Disney Holics and follow Noah at Noah Sunday-Lefkowitz on social media as well.
If you want to get in touch with any of us, send us a DM on Instagram, or you can contact the Disney Holics at thedisneyholics.com.
Okay,
Okay, bye.
bye.